Welcome back into Studio B, and welcome to your quick stretch break, which is about a 10-minute pause in your day to stretch the body, to calm the mind, and to just recenter for whatever the remainder of your day holds for you. Today, we're going to be talking about coming home to yourself. The very first yoga studio that I ever stepped foot in as a student had a sign that greeted you, and it said, "Be gentle, take your time. You're coming home to yourself." And for the last 12 years, every practice that I have been engaged in has been a step in me returning to my body, learning how to befriend my mind, and to allow my heart to be a safe container for whatever emotions are showing up in the moment. So we're going to use movement today, just about 7 or 8 minutes of movement, some breathing, and then some centering. And we're going to do a 12 sequence series of movements in the chair. So I'm going to turn my chair sideways just so that you can have a better view to really see how my spine is oriented in some of these shapes. You don't have to turn sideways. This is just so you can understand. And then slide slightly forward in your seat. We want to, if you have the ability to do so, to ground the feet. Make sure if you're in an office chair with wheels, you lock the wheels for safety and security. And then we bring some awareness into the spine by sitting upright. And we're going to begin the first of these 12 movements by placing the hands somewhere on the body. So it could be on the heart, could be on the belly or the outside of the ribs, or it could be resting the hands on the lap, either palms down or palms up. So finding a position that makes sense to you to put the hands on the body. And just taking a few breaths here. Maybe this is the first time in the day that you have actually really tuned into the body. You've allowed yourself to really notice, how is it feeling? How is it arriving in this moment? And just allowing yourself to welcome yourself home, however you are in this moment. And then if you closed your eyes, start to open them, we'll move into the second position here, reaching the arms forward and letting them float up until they naturally stop. So it might just be partially, or you might float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling and feeling this spacious opening move into the sides of the torso, the underside of the arms, all the way up that outer seam of the body. Maybe lift the chin slightly, opening the front of the throat, taking one more full breath here. And then we're going to go in the complete opposite direction for the third position by walking the hands. You could lean forward onto the thighs or walk the hands down the legs, even to the floor, round the spine. Almost like a turtle coming into its shell here, really decompressing each vertebra in the spine. One more breath here. This can be really soothing. And then we'll walk the hands up the legs. Interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Lift up and hug your right thigh in towards the chest. This is going to be position 4. This is almost like a seated lunge position. Give yourself one more inhale here. Exhale, lower that foot down. And then we're going to take the hands onto the thighs, lengthen the spine. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Spine is like a diagonal here. And then we're going to move into a back bend. So start to draw the heart forward and up. Lift the chin, looking out in front of you, or maybe slightly up towards the ceiling. Feeling this real back bending opening. Letting the breath move into the front of the heart space. And then we'll shift back. So letting the tailbone curl in. Chin drop towards the chest. Spine round. Breathing into the back of the heart space. Coming back to that diagonal, it's like a seated plank position with the spine nice and long. And then interlace the hands behind the left thigh, lifting that left knee up and in towards the chest, that seated lunge on the second side. So we're starting to see how these 12 movements are really threading together for a sequence. Lower the left foot down, lower the hands to the floor, rounding the spine. And then reaching the arms forward if you can, or walking them up the legs for support, coming all the way back up to that elongated upright position. And then the hands land back on the body, either at the heart, the belly, the ribs, or the lap. Release the arms alongside you. Let's do that 2 more times. Movement to breath and picking up the speed a little bit. Bring the hands to the body. This is 1. Reach the arms forward up, almost a back bend sensation. This is 2. Walking the hands down, either leaning forward or rounding completely. This is 3. Hands behind the right thigh, lifting up. This is 4. Hands to the thighs, diagonal spine is 5. Find your back bend, pull the heart through, look forward or up. This is 6. Round the spine. This is like your cat position, 7. Come back to your diagonal seated plank. This is 8. Hands under the left thigh, lifted up, seated lunge. This is 9. So you're starting to get it. Well done. Hands come down, round the spine. This is 10. Either walking the hands up the legs or reaching forward, up and back, 11. Hands come back to the body, 12. Last time, take a breath in, let the hands release. Bring the hands back onto the body, position 1. Arms reaching forward, up. Maybe it's a slight back bend this time. This is 2. Folding forward, either to the thighs or to the floor, is 3. Hands behind the right thigh, lifted up, seated lunge is 4. Lower down, seated lunge, spine is at a diagonal. This is 5. Find your back bend, heart forward, head forward or up, 6. Round the spine, space into the upper back and the back of the heart, 7. Back to that diagonal, elongated seated plank, 8. Hands underneath the left thigh, lifted up, 9. Well done. Left foot down, round it forward is 10. Sweeping it forward, up, maybe back is 11. Hands back, landing on the body is 12. Releasing the hands, I'm going to turn to face you once more, imagining your glorious faces in the screen in front of me. We're going to shift into some breath work. So let's snuggle back into the chair. Let the spine be supported by the back of the chair. And I'm going to rest my palms up in my thighs, just settling in here. I can either settle my gaze on something out in front of me that's not going to move or softly close my eyes. And then allowing myself to observe the experience of the body breathing. Knowing that the body is breathing all of the time, but I rarely give myself permission to just sit and observe it. And as you notice the body breathing here, I'm going to invite you to bring in a very simple 2-word affirmation. And so as you inhale, you might silently say to yourself the word come. And as you exhale, silently say to yourself the word home. Inhale, come. Exhale, home. Come. Home. Allowing this affirmation to be a reminder that the breath is a moment by moment invitation to be at home in your body, to be at ease in your mind, to be at peace in your heart. Come home. I'll give you about 15 seconds of silence to continue this affirmation on your own with your breath. And then if you'd like to continue sitting here, you're welcome to hit the pause button and stay for as long as you like. But if this is the time that you set aside for your practice, you can begin to welcome yourself back, bringing in movement, deepening the breath, and returning to the screen when you're ready. Thank you for a quick stretch break practice. It's always a joy to be with you, and I look forward to practicing together again soon. Be blessed.